Hey yo, what is up, guys? I am back with another episode of API for the Pals. So let's see, where do we leave all last time? Well, last time we were trying to get this set up, and we are also fixing up our JSON file or our scraper that was getting our JSON file. But now we are at this point where we can start setting up our Express to serve us our endpoints and we can make requests to it. So let's see, how should we get over here? So let's continue off where we left off, which is to continue making our endpoints, right? So let's try to get this up and running. So let me see if I can run NodeMon on this, because I don't want to run this every single time. And for those of you who don't know what NodeMon does, what it does is like it watches for changes similar to tsc.xw, but it will keep the server running, so I don't have to restart it every single time. I'm not 100% sure if this will work with TypeScript. I mean, it should. There's no reason why it shouldn't, right? Let me see. So we install like this and then NodeMon on your app. Let me see if NodeMon has a TypeScript version of it. Well, it's like, I mean, maybe I could like run ts-w with this. Okay, so there is npx nodemon dash this. This could work. This method is by far the simplest minimal setup. Okay. So let me run this. Save it as a dev package, right? I think that's what that means. All right, so now we have that. We want to run npx, whatever. Well, actually, we even have npx. I don't even know how that works. I think we should. Okay, so let's just run npx. What's TLS? npx nodemon. Is that what it is? Can I just use nodemon by itself? All right, so let me just try nodemon. Not sure what's going on here. Oh, okay. Whoa, what is going on? That is so weird. What the heck? Okay, we get a new terminal. This is really weird. Alright, let me try again. Node1 index. Let's see if this works. App crashed. It's not a recognizable. It's not recognized as. Oh, so we need TS node. App crashed. Okay. Looks like we need TS node. I don't actually know how you get TS node. That's just another package. npx TS node. Yeah. I guess we should install it globally since I use it all the time. I should finally find out what this even does. So TS node um transforms Java TypeScript into JavaScript. I guess it's like TSC, but it has more features. Who knows? But it should be working. So let's try that again. Oh, look at that. Now it's working. So if I make any changes, it should reflect. So let's take a look at port localhost, and we should probably pull up Postman. Is my Postman on here? Definitely want Postman as a tool that's pinned. So let me get that on here. Oops. Yo, that's pretty annoying. All right, pull up Postman. So let's take a look if we can send a request to localhost. It should be working though. And it's not. Error few. Oh, it's 3001 because we changed it. Let me change this port back to 3000. I might have to rerun this because it's not, this file isn't changing. It's the environment file. Let me rerun that. Now it should be fine. Yeah, there you go. Now that's a lot of data. We probably do want to implement paging at some point because this is quite a lot of data. Too much, in fact. And I don't know why, but this is not pretty. Okay. Yeah. Definitely want paging in here. So let's take a look at now what we want to do. So if we want paging, we should probably implement that early on, so it doesn't look really dumb. All right, so let's think about what kind of things we want. It shouldn't really actually. All right, so let's figure out like what this format should look like, right? So we want like data. That's definitely something we want. Oh, that's probably not like what we should call it. What do people usually call it? Like payload or something? But we should leave that for now. And we want something like page. So it gives you the number. Page 1, page 2. Let's actually look up paging and in a real API, right? And see how it should actually be configured. Paging. Like, what should the format look like? Best practices. Okay, that's like querying. We don't really care about that. So data, pagination. Okay. always include pagination API responses. So that's what we should be like following as a developer. Probably the best practice. You should always be following good practices. Not that I always do that. But that's a good idea. Pagination. I feel like you probably do want this. And we want something like current page, next page, total pages, previous page. I don't think previous page matters that much. I think all we want is current page, total page, and maybe total records. I don't think these two needs to matter that much because we're just gonna like manually increment by one or something. What am I doing? I think remove this. Get back here. So it's gonna look something like current page. We also have total page. Should it be total page or total pages? Total pages, yeah. I mean, follow English, right? So, what else we want in here? We probably want total records. Maybe. I don't know. Because we want to know how many like records is in a page. I feel like that's also pretty important. But I think that's just too much configuration. I don't think like you need all that much configuration. I think we just need this and that. It should be fine. And this we're requesting page 2 minute 20. How many per page? Look at this. Oh, they're using Flask. Flask is pretty cool. I could definitely use Flask sometimes. But anyway, so let's take a look at, do you want to include like actually we should just use total records. I think that's probably the best bet. That's all be our minimalistic information. So I think what we'll do is probably do like 10 records a page. But by default, it should just give us everything. Unless we tell it what page we want. Like, or if we give it a limit. So for now, I think we'll do something like this. We also do want to add queries. So I need to look that up too. So before that, let me get some water. So I'll be a little bit right back. All right, got some water with me. Now let's continue. So let's look at querying in Express. Definitely want to know how to query. We don't need these tabs anymore. I'm not one of those people who have a bunch of different tabs open. I see that all the time at school. I don't really understand why, because you're not going to use all those tabs anyway. That is not what I wanted. Because, I mean, if you have tabs open, I feel like it's just a waste of memory, even if it's not wasting memory, because it probably isn't like all active, right? And but it's still like just very chaotic. It's hard to navigate what you're even looking for. So it doesn't really make sense why you ever want all that tab. I mean, I think you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Anyway, back on topic. We want to query things in Express. Like, cool. Ooh, Express has a router object. I don't know if it has anything to do with what I was looking for. In fact, it's probably easier to not use the documentation because it doesn't tell you anything unless I look deeper. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, so it looks like this is the path params, but I want query params. Oh, is it just request dot query? Is that what it is? And if that's the case, then that might not be too bad. So let's take a look. So request dot query. How do we use this though? Is it like a dictionary? Is it an object? Cause what about request dot params? What's the difference actually? That's a pretty good question. Or maybe param is this path param, and that might be it. I think it's just query. I think all we're looking for is query. I think I'm way overthinking this. So it's an object that has contains your queries, and we probably want to look at express query. Um, how do we get this stuff? I don't know what query returns. Is it? I could look at uh what this is. It's a promise. Is that what it is? No, it's not. It's a request that can return a record. Yeah. It could be a record. It could be any. It could be. Okay, I have no idea. It looks too complicated. Okay, so you can use it like an object. So I thought it was going to be one of those dictionary looking syntax or array syntax. You know, those two square brackets. So you can just use it like this. Now the only problem with that is, there's no typing on that. So how am I supposed to know if this actually exists? But and we're just gonna roll with it. So we want to see if it has uh a limit, I guess. So something like this. Um, do you really need to do this? I mean, there's no point of doing that, right? Yeah, let's just do it like this. So let's take a look at what was gonna do again. Okay, so yeah. We want like how many numbers of records per page. So we need a constant variable on somewhere. So let's say num records per page. Just to say like 10. Now that's probably a lot, but it's pretty obvious what this number is. Though this is not very organized because I mean like all of this. Yeah, so let's just do this. Gnome records per page. Now, I did realize that there's gonna be a lot of features here, and it's gonna look very crowded for this particular thing. So I don't think I want to program all the logic here, because that's gonna be very not what we're looking for, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be very messy. We probably want controllers. Is that what they call it? In models controllers? So yeah, I think that's what we're gonna call that. You know that design architecture or design pattern that you learn? Yeah. So what we need to what we need okay, wait, what type of thing we need like to handle all of that? Because we definitely don't want all the logic to be in here. It's gonna look very messy, but for now we're just gonna handle it like this. Let this equals this, and if limit, then we do something. If not, we don't do something. But first, let's return our response. So let's say let response. Oh, we call it response because there's already response right here. Actually, there's no even point of doing that. Let's just do this. So we want to send an object with data as PowerJSON, right? And we also want to send pagination, which is going to contain records. Oops. So we want total records should be actually, so limit should limit the amount of records, right? So before we even send this data, we need to filter it by the limit. You see, now that gets pretty messy. This is why we need a way to not put logic in here, but put the logic somewhere else. We I don't think we need control. We just need models that does things for us, because this is technically our controller, right? So we want a model that would do that for us. But I don't know what I would call it, right? It could be called a lot of different things. Oh, let's see. Yeah, so we probably just want one object, one model that does this for us. Something like a querier. I don't know. Well, for now, we're just gonna make a new folder, and we're gonna call it model. And we're gonna have pretty much all our models in here. And let's see, the first model that we want should be able to handle everything that's in here. All the logic in here. That's what I'm thinking of. We could do I don't know what to name it. See, naming is like half the work in programming. Not really. But it's pretty important. So that's just, I mean, I can always Google up inspirations, right? Model, controller, pattern, and API. And REST API. So let's see what people call these things, right? Because this is probably something that we want. We don't really need to worry about view because we're just gonna send out JSONs. We're not gonna send back entire HTML page. Though you could, but yeah, I wouldn't do that. So let's take a look. Views. Where's your model? There's routes. Is that what we call this? Routes? We have app.json. Oh, I think using a router could be a good idea too. Router require. So yeah, we probably want to see what else we can do with all this later on, but we just want to get the basics done. Let's see. I think models might be like one of those things that checks your returns and stuff. That's probably what this type of model is for, and not really what I'm thinking about. But it shouldn't really matter all that much. We can call it PAL model or something. So this base model does something. I think it's like data, and these base models all have the ability to check their data type, which I don't need to assert any of my data. I don't need to check them because I'm only going to be returning gets or reading, right? There's no like puts and posts, so I don't think I need that. But I know it's kind of confusing, but I'm just trying to get a name, like an idea of how a model should look like, so I can name it better. But if I can't find anything, then I'm just gonna have to do really weird things, make very weird. You know what? Let's just look for. Because I want to see some real data, some real file structures. Here we go. Here we go. User.json. Okay, so how this works is they're using schemas. I guess it's not what I'm thinking about. Routes. How do people do this? Auth, which uses this index. Wow, this is really confusing. Not really. Probably better than what I'm doing. So yeah, routes. Routes, boy. I wonder how routes work. Probably look that up. But again, we just want the basics for now. Because this does look somewhat clean. Yeah, see, there's no logic in any of this. And I also don't really see much. I don't even know what's going on. There's no queries. I want examples how you handle these things. But sometimes you just don't get anything. This is for a post request. These don't have what I'm like looking for, to be honest. All right, more models. Why does this model only have? Oh, this is um yeah, this is the kind of database that I have. Not 100% the best, but it exists. Can't say much about this. Okay, okay. Router.get. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, there's no logic in filtering and stuff like that in here. And that's my biggest problem right now. Because all I want to see is how you would set that up. But I since I can't find anything, I'm just gonna have to make some terrible, maybe not the best practices. Design my own thing. So let's see, what kind of model you want, right? You know, just designing this is kind of like racking my brain, and I'm sure it does for a lot of people. I mean, I don't think people really get stuck at this point. It's not like I'm that stuck. I know what I want, but I don't know how to put it in words. Hmm. So we want to create a class, and this class should allow us to input a. Let me just create this. Um, how? I mean, I don't know good naming conventions, right? Because whatever I do in here is gonna look absolutely terrible. Let's see. Naming convention, right? So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a real database with good naming convention. Is there any? Let's look at Pokemon Pokedex API. Yeah. Maybe somebody has something that makes sense. And this is using shoot GraphQL. Let's look at Express. Hopefully we can find something that makes sense. Oh, this guy's just using an API, which isn't 100% what I'm looking for. I want somebody with the ability to. I don't think I'm ever gonna find anything, to be honest. Like I'm not seeing it. See, like this guy just put its entire logic in here. That's a lot of logic, and that's not what I want to do. All right, who cares about names? Maybe I'll find some good names in the future. For now, I'll just go with the flow. We're just call this like Power Query. Not a good name, but it should work. Um, Actually, how do you? What does the class look like in TypeScript? I'll be honest, I don't super know this that much. So let's set an attributes, right? Actually, let me just push it up. I mean, I think I know enough, but I think it'll be faster if I just look it up. Okay, so we tell it what the type is of what. Okay, so attributes go right here, right? And then constructor, your normal stuff. Okay, doesn't look too bad. So we want our input data. So we want our, I guess we call it our JSON. I mean, I can't just call it object, can we? Like, that's not very... Property has no initial, definitely not assigned to. No. There we go, like that. The object is too generic. And usually we would type, no, we would definitely need to type this, right? But that's gonna be a long list of what it would look like. Yeah. So we're gonna have to work on typing our JSON file that we are going to get. Where's our JSON actually? Yeah, so this is what it looks like. So what we can maybe do, I don't know. I wonder if it's possible to just import it. I don't know what I'm doing. I just want to see if this works. Nah, I don't think this works. I think I already tried that last time. I don't know I'm trying to do this again. Problem is with typing all of this is pretty painful. So I think it might be better if I don't make this into a JSON and nah. I think we should just keep it as JSON, honestly. Because this looks decent. Okay, so I guess what we need to do is we need to type this entire thing. Otherwise, it's gonna look pretty weird. Because it's gonna be terrible to query our things. But anyway, we want something like we need like a way to limit call these functions. We need like a naming way, like a name convention for that too, maybe. Get limit, set limit. That's a great question. I think we should just call it like set limit, set page, something like that. So for now, we're gonna probably move this over. Let's see. Are we allowed to do this? Number of records per page. Now we need a way to transform this, right? I think we should always return this thing. So we need to get this over immediately. Okay, so here's what we want, right? We want to immediately convert this into this. So this is our JSON object, and we want to not call it that, right? Our results. No, we want this, that's right. But we want to instantly convert this into this. And we want is to carry this over. So we want data, and we want to put the JSON objects passed into it. And then we want pagination. And that's going to give us what we want. We want to initially set current page. So do we want underscore or do we want camel casing? So I'm not 100% sure. If I'm a Python user, you probably want underscores, but from a standpoint of JavaScript, I think you use camel casing. That's what most people use. So I guess to be consistent, we use camel casing. Current page. And we want to set this to 1 because that's our initial paging. For total records, that should be initially the max. So the total records should be equal to JSON, the length of the data. I don't actually know how you get that. JSON dot length. Oh, let me Google. How do you get length of an array? Length of object. Size. Object.keys.length. That looks pretty weird. Is that really how you do that? I guess it is. Object keys. So you get the keys and you get the length. Guess that's not too bad. Object.keys of JSON dot length. So that should give me a number. Is this a function? Hold up. I think it should work. So that's our total records, current page. We want total page to equal to total records, which I don't think this has. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't think I can reference this, right? So I have to redo this. Total pages is total records divided by number of records per page, which I need to see. How do I do this? There we go. Okay, that's how you reference that, I think. Right? Okay, give me error because I don't have a comma. And I don't want a fraction, which I think this is going to give me a fraction. Unless I'm wrong, right? We want to round this up. So we want a ceiling function. So let's Google that. So it's just math.co, which I assume I have access to that package, to that object. Hopefully. .co. Yeah, we do have that. Okay. So this is what we got. Total of records, total current page, and total pages. So this is our beginning. All right, so that's pretty cool. This is our constructor, because this is what we want to return. So let's see, now what? Now we want to work on limit. I think that's the first thing we want, right? So let's see. Let me go blow my nose real quick. All right, I'm back. So, um, what do I want? Right. What I want is, I mean, this is working so far, but I need a way to actually retrieve this data when we query this, right? So let me see. We have this, and we want to limit the pages. And let's try doing that. Set limit, or what is, okay? So limit reach. What does limit do actually? Limit limits the amount of records that you return. Or is that the number of items per page? That's a great question. So let me get out of here. Look at API pagination. Oops. Oh my gosh. Where am I? My keyboard, not keyboard. My typing skill is dying. Alright, so let's take a look at what limit should actually mean. Limit returns the first 10 records. Yeah, so that makes sense. So it actually only returns the first 10 records. So let's make it do that. Because maybe we want, like, I think we want to be able to change how many we get per page as well, now that I think about it. And this shouldn't be like a constant number. It doesn't really make sense all that much. But let's just get limit working. So set limit. And what it's going to do is it's going to take a number So let's see, limit to be integer, or I guess you call it a number. Yeah, I think it's just number in this case. And okay, so what do we want this number to be about? Set limit. Wait, now that I think about it, I need to, before I even can do this, right? I need to set this the data correctly. What I have to do is I have to split this into sections or pages. That's what we call it. So let me take a look at how it's done here. Yeah, so that's how it's working right now. It's um it's a list in this case, which I don't actually have. I don't know, because this is in a list format, and it's not 100% what I'm thinking about. Okay. I think there's an easier way to do this. There might. Okay, remember last time I talked about JSON queries? There might actually be one for this. So let me look at this. Okay, so this seems to be most commonly used, so I'll probably use this. This might be easier rather than implementing, the entire thing from scratch. It would be pretty painful to do. I mean, it's not impossible, right? But why reinvent the wheels when you can install a package that does this for you? So let me take a look at how this works, since that would give me a better idea of what I'm trying to do here. So this is import this, and we have a search function, which will allow us to search. Though I'm not 100% sure what this is saying. I need some better documentation. Like, this looks decent, but I want to see real usage, right? And an actual code, so that I know what I'm looking at. Uh, hmm. I need it in real code. Something that's really fast and it's easy to read, like this. There we go. So it takes a query string, and then you put in the data, and you get back whatever you want. Okay. So let me just do that actually. Oh, this is in Python? Oh, this is in Python. I mean, it's not any different, really. It should be the same thing. Let me just install this though. So how do I just get this? Let me stop this for a second. So I can install a package. Because that might be in, I mean, this will definitely be easier than trying to do what I'm trying to do. Import JMS path from JMS path. Is that how that works? Also, why do I actually it doesn't matter. So let me take a look at, I mean, this is using require, which I don't like to see. Can I even import? Hold up. What is it saying? It's declared but is never read. Cannot find declaration. Am I doing this wrong? This is in Python. Dude. Well, it should be in Node. I don't know why I'm saying this. Yeah, it does say JMS path. But it is using that rather than really want to use require. But if I have to, I just don't like the syntax. I mean, I don't like how it looks. I don't even know if it'll work either. Is that the only way? I mean, if this is the only way, then I don't have a choice. Guess that is the only choice. We're gonna have to stick with this then. Not very getting far, but not much I can do here. Because it's not recognizing the ES module of right. It's not recognizing this. Oh, is that it? I mean, this was from an AI, so I don't know. I don't know if that's actually a thing. I wonder if that's a thing. No, I don't think this is the real thing. Unfortunate. Guess we have to use the common JS version of it. There's no way to get this from ES modules. There's no way this is real. Yeah, this is not a real thing. Unfortunate. We'll just stick with this for now. So now we have this. We want to see what we can query out of this. All right, so JMS path. All right. Let's see how to actually use this, right? We want to see how to use JMS path. And we definitely want some we want to see the syntax, the language of this basic expression. selects a key in a JSON. So that's pretty easy. Cool. What is this? Try changing expression BC. You can use sub expressions to return nested values. So the period. Okay, so period is expressions. Array access. Cool. Nested query. Okay, slicing. Array slicing. Cool. Okay. So because this exists, I think we're gonna have to change the way our JSON's gonna look. Yeah, so we definitely want to change how our JSON's gonna look. Because if you look at it right now, it's a dictionary within a dictionary. And the reason I did this is because I thought it would be easier to like, you know, find an object based on your ID. That's the reason I did this. And it is better. Actually, do we need to change that? I don't think we need to change that. I don't know. I need a way to like split this into pages. That's what we want to do right now. And I think we can keep it. I don't know what I was thinking. But how do I do that? That's the real question. All right, let's think about how we want to manipulate this. Right? Because we definitely want to split this first. I don't know if JMS Path has a way to do that. I don't think so. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. This what is this supposed to be? Everything? This is pretty cool. Let me see if there's a way for that. If there's a way to do this, it would make life pretty much way easier. But if not, then we don't have to worry about it. I don't see paging anywhere. I mean, I had to do this manually. If not, it is gonna not be the best. I thought this would be an easier task, honestly, but I guess it's not that easy. Yeah, there is no paging in here. So, I mean, it does make sense. We're not really, this is for querying, not what I think it was. So we're gonna do this manually. So we actually want to have a function that splits it into paging. So let's think about how that's gonna work. Set records per page. All right. Or this is pretty difficult. I mean, it shouldn't be that difficult, but I just need to think a little bit more. I mean, I should definitely start lead coding more. But how would I do this? Set records per page. Like I think it'll be much easier if never mind, never mind. I'm just getting stuck in my thought process. All right, let me think a little bit. Let me take some time to think about this. Okay, okay. So I think what we want is paged JSON. That's what we want. We want in this to be into paged JSON. So how do we do that initially, right? So set records per page. This is probably going to want everything. We want pals. So we want an object. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna set this into a paged format. And I guess how it's going to work is we're gonna have for loop. So for I equals 0, I less than this should not be static. So we're gonna not make the static. Num records per page. And we're not gonna make the static. Why am I get okay? It should be this. There you go. I plus plus. Right. And let's see. So we want a results. Let result be an object. It's probably not going to be an object, to be honest. It's probably going to be a list or array. What is this typing, bro? Is it this? Okay, there you go. That must be it. In fact, let's just do this. I think that might be easier. And then want to do results dot push, and we want to push Actually, it might be better if we, instead of doing the, hold up, let me think. Let me fix this first. I'm thinking about, because, okay, I have to push that number of items in here, but how would you do that, right? So what if we just use a while loop instead, right? Because we're gonna be going through the entire list, and we want to do this individually. Okay, I need to think about the structure of this result. So let's think about how that would look. Right, so what we want is a list of pages of data, and that's going to contain a dictionary of what we want, or an object of what we want. No, it's going to be, but this is going to be like page level, right? And then what's in here is going to be, no, this is going to be the list of all pages. And then this is going to be what's actually in that page. Right? So either way, we're going to have to loop through the entire list of, you know. So here's what we want. So we don't actually want to loop through this. We want to loop through the length or the object. for variable and object. So if I just do, instead of this, for PAL and JSON, for let PAL and JSON. And we don't know what this even is. And in fact, I think that just returns a string. Okay, so that loops through all the keys, and which is pretty cool. It's not wrong. That's exactly what we're looking for. So it should be for that. It should be for ID and JSON. And honestly, this isn't really a good name. I think I'll just call it Pals, to be honest. We're also gonna call this Pals as well. I think that'll make it easier to read. Maybe that's just me, but anyway, Pals. We want to create a new page. So let page equals this, and they want Pals page. Or this should be pages. So we want, yes, we still want let page equals this. And then at the end we want pages dot push page, right? And while that's happening, we want for int 0 I less than, I don't know why I keep doing this. I less than this dot number, and we want I plus plus, and then we just want page I Is that how it works? At least that's what I'm thinking about. And this is not working. Is this not what I'm thinking about? So right now it's giving me a typing error. Simplicity has type any because no index signature with parameter type number was found. Oh, yeah. So this is TypeScript error, not JavaScript. How do I type this? Man, somebody help me. Okay, I need to fix this there. So element has any type because the expression type number can't be used index. Okay. So I need to look up how to type an object, right? Because right now I'm using generic typing, which is absolutely terrible idea. Like even I know that. Let's do this. So I'm not sure if I'm seeing this right, but looks like I can map it like this. Which is really cool. Okay, so we need like a list of typings that we want to exist. Typings. And what we want is there's two ways we can do this. We can use interface or we can use type, right? I don't remember what's the difference between those two. I think you're supposed to use types rather than interface. Yeah, so that's what this looks like. A contract. So type is a name anytime. Type. Alternative name for existing type. It's an alias. While interfaces, a contract and object must have tier 2. This did not tell me too much. That's a lot of information. Let's look at Stack Overflow. Oh, okay, so interfaces can extend. So that's probably the biggest reason I would use interface, right? Types can't extend, that's just an alias. Interfaces can extend. And in my case, I don't need it to interface to extend anything. Oh, there's also implements keyword. Can implement an interface or type both in the same way. Dude, this is literally just classes at this point. Why would I ever? This makes cool. I mean, I guess it's pretty cool, but still, it's pretty much just classes interface. I don't need a whole class, so I just call it types. So type page is going to equal to so we want is ID, which is a string, and it's going to map to an object. Not the best. We're going to change this object stuff to a different type later. Actually, we should do that right now. To be honest. So type pal, and for now it's just gonna be any. Oh, it's gonna be object. But later on we want to change this, so we're just gonna have to call this pal. I probably want this in the bottom. I don't actually know if that matters, but so now it looks like this, and now what we can do is import from okay, so my time is up right now. So I'm gonna have to finish this in the next one. But yeah, I think right now what we got is pretty good progress. And the next time, what we will do is, finish typing and finish, progress a little bit more on our functions. But for now, we'll just leave it here. All right, I'll see you next time.